Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren from Guthrie and Ganny, and in this video I wanted to share with you a roundup of the various different dress patterns that I have made over the years. So I did a previous post that was about shirts and blouses and one that was about woven tops as well, and then a dress one was requested, so I thought I would share with you the different patterns that I've made. Now obviously there are hundreds, probably thousands of different dress patterns out there, and this is only like a little snapshot of them. I think there's maybe about 18 different styles or 18 different patterns altogether, so it's not going to be like a comprehensive review of all the different patterns that are out there, but hopefully just seeing some different styles and different types of fabric and different variations as well will just give you some inspiration and help you to sort of see the link between a technical drawing and what a garment actually looks like made up in real life as well. So I do obviously I've got all the dresses out on the rail here to show you just now, so I can like hold them up and sort of show you and chat to you about them. But you know, dresses definitely look better on a person than on a hanger. So I have got the technical drawings, which I'll put up in the video as well, and then some modelled images of them too, just so you can kind of see what they look like on. So these are all of my dresses, and a lot of them are samples that we've done for Sewing Society kits, and then some of them are just like my own actual dresses that I've worn. So I've kind of raided my own wardrobe and kind of got together all of the various samples and things that we have from past kits that we've done. And that is what you can see on the rail here just now. So the one that I'm wearing first of all is the Closet Core Next dress, and this is the one that we did as part of a kit that went with our exclusive Be Happy Blooms fabric, which was part of our 10th birthday celebrations back in April. So we've got this fabric in 3 colourways, and because it was like our big kind of birthday launch and celebration, we made lots of versions of the dress as well, just so that people could kind of see what different options were for the kits. So I do have a few different versions of them to show you. There are ways that you can customise and change the pattern. The version I'm wearing just now, it's got the long sleeves, and then it's got the full maxi dress length version as well. But you can make it and vary the length of the tiers. The tiers are basically rectangles, so it's got an elasticated waist, and then a little really cute sort of button loop and button to make the button opening at the front. This is bias binding, and so you know it does sort of cinch it in at the waist. And then you can definitely like vary the length and alter the kind of mix of the different proportions of the tiers in the skirt as well, because as I said, they are just rectangles. So you could definitely just have like one big long rectangle, or you could have like a longer one and then a shorter one at the bottom. It would be quite easy to kind of customize that. And then at the back it's got a yoke section which is a bit more fitted, and then it's kind of a bit more billowy and blousey over the top. So I made the size that was 2 sizes down from my body measurement, so it is designed to be quite oversized and really quite blousey. Sized down a little bit in the versions that I made, so I sized down 2 sizes, but I just did a 1 centimetre seam allowance at the back armhole section, just so that it would have a little bit more ease over the back yoke. But yeah, that's the short sleeve version there. I'll show you pictures of all the different versions too. And then yeah, what other options have we got here? I think there's basically just like a mix of long sleeves and short sleeves, and long dresses and short dresses. So yeah, that is the Closet Core Next. And then the next one that I've got is the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra. So this is a really lovely sort of shirt dress at the top. So it's got buttons that just go down to the waistline, and then again it's rectangular gathered tiers in the bottom. So you've got long sleeves with elastic. They're pretty similar to the next, to be honest. And then at the back it's just sort of like a plain bodice. So it is quite, you know, sort of loose in that sense. You can make it a bit more fitted, so that this is like a little belt that I made to tie around it just to cinch it in at the waist if you feel like you want a little bit more shape to that type of garment. We did it in a denim, a lightweight denim version as well, so it looks nice and something that's a bit more structured too, because it's got that classic sort of stand collar there. So yeah, that's a nice sort of smart one. You could definitely also just shorten the sleeves too if you wanted to. And this was in our Chica Cheetah viscose fabric, which unfortunately we've sold out of now, but we do have lots of other lovely viscose prints. And then the next one is another Closet Core one. This is the Elodie, which is a wrap dress. It probably doesn't look that much on the hanger, to be honest, but it's a really lovely design. It's got little grown on sleeves, it's got little release pleats here, so it's like little pleats that don't kind of come to a point, so it does kind of blouse over the bust a little bit. And then it's a wrap, just quite an sort of simple A-line shaped skirt, which in the viscose hangs really beautifully. So this was a shorter version that we made, and then you can also make it in a longer length version too. So I'll show you the different length versions there, but it feels lovely when it's a long one. It feels very sort of glamorous and chic, and you can have a longer sleeve as well. So it's just like an extra kind of grown on section, so quite sort of loose and baggy. But it's a really lovely dress. I love that dress. The next one is the Nielsen Sudley. So this was another kit that we did a few years ago now, so I've got a few different versions of that to show you here. The good thing about the Sudley is that it's reversible, so it's got bias binding around the neckline, and you can either wear it this way where it's got just like a plain rounded neckline, or you can have this keyhole opening at the front as well. So it's quite a loose sort of bodice. There's no darts or anything. Different sleeve lengths. I think we added in the elastic cuff as part of the kit. I've got a feeling that doesn't come as part of the pattern. And then you can also make like a little belt and do little sort of dainty belt loops too. So I show you how to do that in the top tips video that's still available, that came with the kit. And then this is also like lengthened, and then it's got a sort of shorter tier on the bottom as well. So again, they're rectangular sections in the skirt, so quite easy to customize length and split of the different tiers. So that was a printed viscose version there. This was a viscose piqué fabric, so it's like a plain viscose but sort of spongy and textured. That was a nice sort of chic black version. It was at Christmas time we did it. So yeah, that's another option there. It does have a blouse version too, the Nielsen Sudley. The next one is the Doe Magnolia dress, which again we did as a kit. This was one of the first kits that we did. Now we did it in a viscose print, which it's a Liberty viscose print, but we got Liberty to print this print on a viscose for us, so it was sort of a bit like a custom print. It has been used in the window display, and because our big bay window is so bright and sunny, things do get quite sun damaged in it, which is why it kind of looks faded in the front as I'm showing you here, but it's not in the pictures I'll show you. So this does look a little bit like a wrap from the front, so it's like a faux wrap really. It's got a fitted waistband, various sections in the skirt which make it like a little bit fuller and sort of A-line shaped. It drapes beautifully. You can have a maxi dress length version as well, but then it's got an invisible zip, so it is, is a little bit more fitted. It's got princess seams at the front here, so that sort of makes it a bit more fitted over the bust as well. These beautiful butterfly sleeves, so they're quite full sleeves but in a lovely drapey fabric like this. They hang beautifully, and then it's got a tie at the back as well. So another really lovely glamorous dress, would look gorgeous if you had a special occasion or something to go to. The next one is the Chalk and Notch Fringe, and there's a couple of versions of this one. So we've got, in this one here, it's got buttons down the front into a gathered skirt section, which has got a curved dipped hem. These are little cuffs that sort of get held back with a kind of tab like this. I think we're just missing a button there for some reason. It does have darts as well, so darts at the waistline, at the front and the back as well, and then this has just got a little tie in it too, which comes out of the front pleat, just to give it a little bit of shaping at the waist if you wanted that. And then the other version of this dress is like a sort of kind of shaped version here. It has a facing, so it's just a little bit more detailed, a bit more structured at the front neckline there, just a little bit different. It's not got the buttons. So yeah, that's another lovely little dress. I think it does just have the shorter length, that one. The next one is a jersey dress. This is the So Liberated Stasia dress, and again we did this in a kit, so you can do quite a long length version of this one. This was I'm pretty sure this was a medal jersey, and this gorgeous print obviously, and then we also had a plain version as well, which I made with shorter length and the longer sleeves. It's really super comfy. It's a lovely dress to wear, a nice comfy basic to have, and one that you could definitely just, you could look quite smart in, and yeah, it's just really flattering, quite fitted in the bodice, but then looser over the hips and into the skirt. If we stick with the jersey ones now, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit on the rail. This is the Closet Core Ebony. And this is it does come with a couple of versions in the pattern. There's one that I think, I'm pretty sure it's got a raglan sleeve. This has got a set-in sleeve, but it's quite loose, it's quite swingy. It's very, very A-line, very sort of pronounced A-line shape. Hopefully you can kind of see that there. And quite loose fitting. So I think it works best in quite a drapey jersey. So this was a Liberty viscose jersey that we had, but a Tencel jersey, a Medal jersey would also work really nicely. It's lovely and comfy, nice and loose and swishy. I like wearing this with tights in the winter time, and sometimes I wear a little belt with it. I've got quite a thin narrow kind of leather woven belt that I wear with it quite a bit if I want a little bit more shaping in it. So yeah, that's another nice loose comfy jersey one. The other jersey one I've got is a nice classic wrap dress. This is the Cashmerette Appleton, and we did this as a kit as well in a few different versions. Pretty simple, straight up, you know, fairly fitted wrap dress that's just really super comfortable, and just a lovely sort of nice basic to have. I think this is quite smart as well. So yeah, I really like this one. And yeah, another comfy option in the jersey department. The next one we've got is the So Liberated Hinterland dress, which again was a kit, so I've got a few different versions to show you. We did all sort of like kind of linen-y, like cotton linen, viscose linen mixes for this kit. There's lots of different ways to customize this as well. So you can either have buttons that go down to the waist, you can have buttons that go all the way to the bottom, and I think you might be able to have a version that also has no buttons at all. It's got bust dart, so it's a little bit fitted, but you still have to pull it on and off over your head, so it is loose enough to be able to do that. But what you can add in, which is what we did on this these two versions here, is it's got a waist tie that can just give you a little bit more shape. So this was a viscose linen one. It's a little bit of a shorter version, got pockets on the inseam, nice summery version there, and then this one has got the buttons that go all the way down to the bottom. So and it's sleeveless as well, so you can choose to put the sleeves on or not too. So lots of different ways to customize that one as well. So as I said, the ones we chose all were sort of like linen based, either linen cotton or linen viscose, which has got like a bit more structure to it, but you could definitely just make it in a floppy or woven viscose like some of these ones as well. The next one is the Friday Pattern Company Wilder gown, which is a lovely maxi dress. That one year when they had the buffet dress, and as one of the sewing bee challenges, it was this sort of style that was all the rage. But it's just lovely and relaxed, very loose, very breezy. It's got quite an interesting neckline detail, so it's like a channel that goes all the way around the neck, and you make a little tie that goes in that, which you can either wear closed, then it's got this sort of keyhole opening at the front, or you can kind of wear it open as well. I've got a top version of this pattern that I've made, and I kind of sewed it closed so that I could wear it open. And then again, you can customize the length of the tiers as well, so you have it long, shorter, longer, chop the tiers off a little bit, make the proportions different. They're just rectangles, so yeah, a nice lovely kind of looser sort of style in that one. The next one is a fibre mood pattern. This is the fibre mood Marion dress, and I made this to go to a wedding a couple of years ago, and I used one of the Fabric Godmother viscose sateen fabrics, which sadly I don't think they have anymore, but it's got a little bit of a sheen to it because it's a sateen, which I felt just gave it more of a dressier look. So it's got raglan sleeves, a little keyhole opening at the back neckline there, and then it's got elastic in the cuffs, but they sort of make like a little frill at the bottom, elastic in the waist. It's got inseam pockets, and then it's got like a much shorter tier here, so you see from the waist to here, that's just like a shorter panel, and then it's much longer after that. But I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember how I made it now. I think you could definitely easily change the proportions of that. I actually wasn't too sure how it would look, and in the end I really liked it. So yeah, that's another lovely one, which you could definitely just generally make it shorter if you wanted to as well. And then I'll stick with Fibre Mood. I'll jump ahead to this one too. This is in the same type of fabric, so this is in a viscose sateen as well. Again, I also made this for a wedding. Actually, I had 2 weddings that I wore this to. I'll show you the pictures of. I really like the details in this one. So it's got a yoke at the front and the back, and then it's got this frill that goes all the way from the neckline up and over the armhole seam, and then along the back as well. So that's the kind of like one big long ruffle that you sort of make there. Bias binding at the neckline, buttons to the waist, and then it's a drawstring, so it's like a little belt that you make that kind of cinches it in at the waistline, and then again a gathered skirt. You can have different options of that. It does have an option in the pattern, I think, to just have like one length of gather, one section of the skirt, but this has sort of got 2. It's got that other section at the bottom, and then the longer sleeves with the little sort of dainty cuffs as well. So yeah, I think in a fabric like this it sort of dresses it up a little bit more, but I definitely think you could make it in like a little sort of small scale ditzy print viscose, and it would maybe have a little bit more of a casual vibe to it. The next one I've got 2 versions of. This is a nice simple one. So this is the Tilly in the Buttons Lotta dress, and it's got elastic in the waist. You're just pulling it on and off over your head. Little grown on sleeves here that you can either have cap, or in the other version I'll show you, you can have them longer length as well, facing at the neckline. Quite an A-line skirt, so quite a full skirt. So I personally think it looks good in a viscose fabric or a rayon, or something like that, so that it drapes and hangs really nicely, and then just is a bit more fitted because of the elastic at the waistline. So nice and simple to save fabric. I have also made it before with a centre back seam, just because that's a grown on sleeve. It makes the pattern piece quite big, so you can sort of save a little bit of space if you have that seam down the back. I don't think it's that noticeable, not in this fabric anyway. And then this was the other version of the Lotta that I made as well, which was this is in a viscose twill, so it's a little bit heavier. I made this to be like a bit more of a sort of wintry version that I could wear with tights, and it's shorter as well. Yeah, it's definitely shorter than the other one. So yeah, it's got the longer sleeves. So yeah, it's just a really lovely, nice, simple one if you're looking for something that's simple. The next one, also quite simple. This is the Forget Me Not Patterns Lola dress, which is just simple front, bias bound neckline, little short grown on sleeves. At the back it's got a yoke with a little ruffle and a back pleat as well. I've made the top version of this too, and I've made like a little belt to go with this as well to sort of cinch it in, so I can either wear it sort of straight as more like a kind of straighter shift dress, or you can have a little bit of shaping by making a little belt to go with it. So it's just another lovely, really nice kind of simple one, and looks good. This is another viscose too, so it's nice and kind of lightweight and breezy and swishy. And then here we have got the Named Patterns Taika dress, which I made to go in our birthday window display. So I did make it in my size, so I measured it and I made the size like out the packet as to what my body measurements were, and then it was on the mannequin in the window for a few months. And then when I went to try it on, I realised that actually, I'll show you what I mean. I'll try it on and I'll show you a little clip. It's actually too low for me. I think I need to like take a kind of wedge out of the neckline to sort of raise it up a little bit, but it does have a really lovely silhouette. Buttons all the way down the front, and then this seam here with the kind of gathers under the bust, and then it's got little sort of gathers in the back bodice as well. The skirt's really nice. It's quite a few panels, so it's got a really lovely sort of full shape to it. I think it's a gorgeous dress. But yeah, it might be that perhaps maybe you want to make a toile. I guess that could be said for anything though, really. But yeah, for me, it was just too low there, the size out the packet. And then the next one, again, I've got 2 versions of it. This is the Tilly in the Buttons Indigo dress, which is another pretty simple one. Another sort of gathered skirt one. You can see a common theme here. Set-in sleeves. It's meant to have a facing at the neckline, but I actually put bias binding here, and I would recommend if you do that to make sure that you cut away some of the neckline, because basically the seam allowance that you use with bias binding is smaller than the seam allowance you use with the facing, and it's meant that it's quite tight when I pull it on and off over my head. So don't make the same mistake as I did. But yeah, it's just another sort of lovely little kind of simple simple one. This is an Atelier Brunette viscose crepe that I used for this one. I wear this a lot in the winter. And then I also made like a fun Christmas version in a Liberty Tanalon. And I did put the facing in this one, and I also lined the skirt as well. So that is just a plain viscose lining, I think, in that one there. So yeah, that was my nice Christmas version of my Indigo. And then finally, it's actually the end of July as I film this, but I'm sharing it in August. But I'm going to channel some summer vibes for you here and show you a really lovely summery dress which I made this summer. This is the named Kerttu. I'm probably not saying that right, but I'll put the name up of it anyway so that you can see. I love this one. I love the way it's made as well. So basically it has, the front bodice is like a little tie, so then it's kind of open as you wear it. You've got this little sort of opening kind of here. Elastic at the waist, and then the straps come up. They're quite thin, so the straps come up here, and then they go through this channel at the back and then get tied. So it's just got like a really sort of interesting kind of construction. It's really different in the bodice. And then again a gathered skirt, which is just really lovely and long and swishy. Again, Be Happy Blooms print. You can see that I like this colourway in a dress. But yeah, I've worn this a few times this summer and I've loved it when I've worn it. I really enjoy wearing it. I think it's lovely and summery. So I will leave you on that note with a really summery vibe if you're in the mood for making a summer dress. But otherwise, I do hope that you have found seeing all of those dresses inspiring and useful. So I've made a blog post that goes along with the video, and I'll put a link to that in the description. And in there I'll put like photographs and links to all of the patterns that I've featured. Because I've like made these over a number of years, we don't have all of the fabrics available exactly like the ones that I've shown you, but we're always going to have something similar or a similar type. We do have all of the Be Happy Blooms ones though, so you can definitely use that to make any of these dresses too. If you've got any questions or comments at all, then please feel free to leave them below. If there's any sort of specific advice or help that you want, the quickest way to get that is either by emailing or calling the shop. The G&G team and I are always more than happy to help. We're here 6 days a week. So you can email and call us if you need any help with anything. I'll put the contact details in the description below as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do remember and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video. And I will see you next time. Bye!